Hey guys, this is Scott from Forgot to Grow Podcast. Welcome to another edition of Rewatch Revisit Review, our weekly video series where I rewatch a movie I haven't seen in a while, talk about my thoughts after revisiting it, and then give you guys my review for that movie. Today I'm going to be talking about Blade Trinity in honor of the first Blade's 20th anniversary, and because Netflix didn't have that first one, so I watched the third one. That's not important. What is important is what I'm going to be covering in this video today, which I'll be just talking just about the plot summary for this episode to start, then giving you guys my thoughts after revisiting it, as followed by my review for the movie. Alright, so let's just start with that rewatch section. Alright guys, so the plot summary for Blade Trinity says Blade finds himself alone, surrounded by enemies, fighting an uphill battle with the vampire nation and now humans. He joins forces with a young group of vampire hunters who call themselves the Night Stalkers. The vampire nation awakens the king of vampires, Dracula, from his slumber with intentions of using his primitive blood to become daywalkers themselves. On the other side, Blade and his team manifesting a virus that could wipe out the vampire race once and for all. In the end, the two sides will collide and only one will come out victorious, a battle between the ultimate vampire who never knew defeat, facing off against the greatest vampire slayer. Okay guys, so that's the plot summary for Blade. As I already mentioned, I decided to rewatch this because of the 20th anniversary of the first Blade movie, and Netflix didn't have the first Blade movie, so I watched the third one because it was the only one on there, and it's kind of my favorite of them. It's hard to say, the first and the third are kind of equal in my mind, but this one I enjoy, but we'll talk about more of that in my thoughts after revisiting in the revisit section. Okay, so my thoughts after revisiting Blade Trinity are I still enjoy this movie. I always like the Blade movies, and I like these ones in particular because they're a little more focused on more like martial arts. This one in particular with like a bow and arrow and stuff, as opposed to too much of like guns and stuff. Like they do have some high-tech stuff which are guns and like different types of guns, but I like that we get this different tech as opposed to just, you know, your run-of-the-mill action movie or, you know, even superhero movie. So I like that, which obviously makes sense. It is a vampire movie, but that's just one of the elements I liked about rewatching this, was seeing that it's a kind of a different pace than we get in a lot of superhero movies nowadays, which I get not everybody maybe consider Blade a superhero, but he is from the comics, he is super, does hero-ish stuff, so yeah. But anyways, I still think Blade Trinity is a fun vampire killing movie. If you enjoy a fun vampire killing movie, Blade is still a badass. Younger Ryan Reynolds is hilarious, and we have the charming and kick-ass Jessica Biel, and yeah, it was a great combo of cast. It's just a fun movie. I love that they brought Dracula into this movie. He's just a fun villain for Blade to face. If you're gonna have a vampire slayer, why wouldn't he face the ultimate vampire? Okay, like why not? And they take a kind of unique like take on it. They don't just go with the classic, you know, oh Dracula, oh. No, they switch it up a little bit. They put their own twist and their own mythology into it, which I like. I don't know if it corresponds at all with the comics. I've never read a Blade comic at all, but now I'm kind of interested to see. I might have to look that up. Yeah, the only last thing I thought I had after revisiting this movie, guys, was I would have been on board if they made a fourth Blade movie. I really liked these movies at the time, and I feel like it probably had something to do with Wesley Snipes maybe going to prison, but I'm not sure, but that's probably had some kind of connection to it. But I would have been down for them to redo it. I'd still be down for them to even redo another one today with an older Wesley Snipes, and somehow his powers have gone away. But that's not what we're talking about in this video. I'll do another video about that, maybe, probably not. The point is, we're moving on to the review section. Okay, so as I start each of my reviews, I'm going to give you guys the critics and audience ratings to start, just so you have an idea of what they thought before I give you my biased opinion. So IMDb gives it a rating of 5.9 out of 10, which isn't terrible. But once we get over to Rotten Tomatoes, we see that the critics on the tomato meter gave it a 25% with a 4.4 out of 10 average score. Critics hated this movie. And then audiences, we see also on Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 59 on the tomato meter with a 6.8 out of 10 average score. And audiences didn't hate it, they didn't love it though either. And then Metacritic gave it a 38. They really hated it. They're with the critics. Critics didn't enjoy this movie. And maybe I get why. I feel like this movie came out at a time when most comic book movies were really like critically panned. I don't want to say there are biased opinions. I'm not saying this is a great movie critically wise. I'm not really much of a movie critic. I can't speak to certain things like shooting and stuff like that, but I enjoyed this movie myself, which is why I give it a 1.5 thumbs up, which is my second-ish highest rating, which is a movie because I still enjoy it. This movie's fun. Like, I get it's not a masterpiece. I could see some of the flaws in it, but I think it's a fun vampire killing movie. Like, what more do you want from a vampire killing movie? I like that we get Blade's quiet badassery, and in the new addition of Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel into this Blade universe, which was cool, even though it's only one movie. I would have been down for a spin-off back in the day. I don't know why we didn't get that. The point is, though, I like this movie. My favorite part of this movie was the final showdown, of course, as it is with all my movies. I like the climax, because, well, why would you like something... The climax is just supposed to be the best part, so that's why I like them generally. But the final showdown in this one's in particular is cool because we have the three heroes facing off and we get to see each of their individual fighting styles and how they're each individually fighting different things, you know. We get the final showdown between Blade and Dracula, which is just cool. It's awesome. I like that they shift to the, you know, bring out the monster Dracula for him to fight. It's just cool. It was a fun scene. I like that. That's why it's my favorite part. But the last part is my recommendation, guys, which is you should definitely watch this. If you watch this far in this video, you should watch it, because Blade, this is, if you like the first two Blades, this is just as good in my opinion. Or if you like badass action movies, it's a pretty good one. And if you like comic book movies, it's among them. But there's better ones. But still, if the point is, you should watch this. If not, I have no idea why you watched this video for so long. But that's the end of my Rewatch Revisit review for Blade Trinity, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this movie. Did you like it? Did you not? Do you agree with me? Do you not? Thanks for watching today, guys, and have a good one.